Hello, I'm here today with Dr. Lynda Cook of Indianapolis. Lynda is a longtime dear friend of mine who over the years, over the last decade, has traveled to Afghanistan 5 or 6 times.
5 times.
And so I'm really pleased that she came here to be with me today. In the chamber, in the House chamber, we will be hearing from President Ghani of Afghanistan. Speaker Boehner invited him to address the chamber. And I thought of all the people I know, Lynda Cook, who has given so much to the community in central Indiana, has also given a lot of her time and talent and treasure to the women and the children in Afghanistan. And so, Lynda, would you tell me how you got involved with the people of Afghanistan and just a few of your experiences there? Would love to hear more.
Well, it was really a chance news report that was on ABC News by Bob Woodruff. And it was talking about the need for English-speaking people in the boys' orphanage in particular to learn English.
What year was this about?
This was 2004.
Okay.
And so I called my husband and I said, "You want to go out to lunch?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, we sat down and he said, "Well, what did you want to ask me?" And I said, "Well, what do you think about me going to Afghanistan for 4 to 6 months?" And he goes, "Oh, I thought you were going to ask about getting another dog." And I said, No.
I recall that.
Yes. And so I called Bob Woodruff and talked to him, and he put me in contact with a variety of people there, and a woman from Santa Barbara who had been there previously to do trauma work with the children at the orphanage, because there's several systems, but the large government system is 27 orphanages across the country.
And that's what you went to focus on,
That's
wasn't it?
what I went to
was
focus
the
on
orphanages.
originally. Yes.
And what were some of the things? And then you traveled several times to Afghanistan. And can you just share with us what not only the conditions were like, but I understand you were last there in 2011. And so what was happening in Afghanistan in 2011? What did the Americans bring to Afghanistan? What did you see? What were the conditions there?
Well, you'll have to understand that you're in a kind of a rarefied NGO world when you're working there. And you do have a lot of contact with ordinary people on the street if you want it. And we did want that, so we stayed in guest houses that were just regular guest houses, and always a lot of journalists with that, which give you a different flavor of information you get around dinner every night. And but we were out in the neighborhoods, and we went to the refugee camps, and we went to the smaller orphanages also. So it wasn't just the big government-run orphanages that we dealt with. And then we also were in contact with a woman who had been severely tortured by the Taliban at standing up for women's rights, and she had founded an organization called All Afghan Women's Union. And she established schools that were income-generating schools so that the women could learn trades and earn money in a society that had never engendered that, in particular since the 1960s and 70s. And but at the boys and the girls orphanage, what we did realize is more than English teachers, which we did teach classes to both adults and children, what they really needed more than anything else were trade programs that allowed them to get jobs, because they live in a society where your family gets you jobs. And so we realized that if we set up cell phone repair programs, car repair programs, Toyotas are big things over there for the Taliban and for everybody else now, and also TV repair, that we were giving them the opportunity then to have something the rest of their life.
And so you were actually bringing those types of training programs there for the boys, the girls, and the women to help them get a trade so they could take care of themselves.
And the women's schools that the union established, they did literacy. And you might have a class and there might be a 7-year-old there and a 70-year-old there. And I've got wonderful photographs showing this diversity of women who all want to learn to read.
Because the women had been prohibited from education systems in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
And so when you left in 2011, and I appreciate that you, there aren't many trips being made by organizations now.
It's not recommended.
And it's not recommended for NGOs because of why?
Because of safety concerns. I mean, while we were there, for example, the UN compound across the street from where I was staying at Limon was bombed. And we just always made sure we kept a very low profile. We would be out to dinner at friends' houses and everything else, but we did not go to the markets, we did not go to the banks, We were asked twice if we'd come meet with the President Hamid Karzai, and we said no because we'd have to go to the governmental buildings, and we weren't ready to do that. I mean, we were just very careful. And yet I said it's no different than if you're going to London or you're going to San Francisco or anything else. You don't put yourself in situations that were potential danger.
And can you just share with us, to wrap up, some of the things that Hoosiers and other people across the country did to help the children and women in Afghanistan? Can you just share with us, because I know
gladly.
I participated in one
Yes, you
event
did.
where we were boxing up sheet sets to send over to Afghanistan. Can you just share with us some of the things that Americans have done to help the folks in Afghanistan?
Well, for example, the Junior League, which we belong to in Indianapolis, when we realized that in the outlying orphanages, the kids were sleeping in their clothes in the winter because they had no sheets, blankets, pillows, cases, anything else. The Junior League collected 500 sets, and that's where you were involved in boxing those up and sending them over by APO boxes. Martha Hoover of the Parachute Cafes collected almost 1,000 blankets, cleaned them, sent them over at our own expense to do that. The manager from Sullivan's, just because we were eating dinner there one night and I talked to him, all of a sudden calls me and he's got 30 coats for adults that he's collected that we can send over. And a church in Zionsville, Mary Luter's church, her son's youth group collected 500 beginning English reader books sent them to the library. So it's just amazing.
Well, I want to thank you for what you've done for the people of Afghanistan, and I'm honored that you came into Washington
Thank you.
on fairly short notice to hear from the president of that country, and just want to thank you for your civic participation. You've been such a leader in Indianapolis, but really, I want folks from Indiana to know you've been a leader in the world too,
Oh,
in
thank
helping
you
so many.
so
Thanks,
very
Linda.
much. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.